you a morning person?
No,
Huh? I
no.
feel like you would be.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. I'm definitely a night person, 100%. I'll stay up until like the crack of dawn, but when it comes to
Yeah.
everything else, yeah, no, no, no.
See, like for me, I'm just like kind of like a morning person. Like
Yeah,
back when I was in school, like I would always wake up naturally at 7 or 8.
really?
Yeah, without any alarm clocks,
Dang.
which is a good thing because you get more. You naturally have like a kick of productivity. Hey, how you doing?
Perfect. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I am your host, Rusty, and today we have Abdul. So, Abdul, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of
Yeah,
background.
hi, my name's Abdul. I'm 24 years old. I grew up in California most of my life. But back then, I was actually born in Afghanistan. So
Yeah, actually, dude, you were talking to me about that, and I kind of paused you. I'm so sorry for
yeah,
doing that the
no,
first
no,
time, but dude, I really wanted to get into more detail.
yeah. So man, it's crazy because the people that I tell this to,
Yeah,
they're just like, they get shocked, they get mind blown. They're just like, what? Like, first off, I didn't even think you were from that country.
yeah.
Second, like the things I tell them, they're just like mind blown. They're like, how the heck did you even make it out? So it all started back in I'm not sure if you're familiar with the history of Afghanistan, but basically it's been in that war for like 2 decades now,
Mhm.
maybe even more.
Mhm.
And it's just a country that's developing, and it's a third world country, so it doesn't have as many resources as other countries do.
Mhm.
And basically, um, it all started with the different tribes that didn't get along. So it's like you have several tribes. So there's like the Hazaras. I'm like considered a Hazara,
Mhm.
and Pashtuns, Tajiks, and these people they like have different beliefs. Like one person will say, "Hey, I'm better than you," and the other one's like, "Oh, no, you're not that good. I'm way better than you." So it's like that, and that's why they have like this clash. They don't have like the same, I guess, ideologies, and that's why they it's like a war within itself. So it's like a civil war, and um,
Was it ever like a materialistic thing? Like I
uh,
have more women or more houses or more land or whatever it may be, or was it more like
it's
I'm more religious, more righteous, more
yeah, exactly. It's more
was it?
like kind of like that. Like I'm more religious. Like our tribe is just it's just superior, you know,
Oh, I got you.
kind of like that. Like we're just better than you guys.
Okay.
And the other one's like it's like a competition. It's like it's kind of it's I know it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
It's like a little silly like kindergarten talk shit, but like
When it's deep rooted, man, it gets
it's
crazy.
just
It
how these
can.
people are, bro. They're just so stubborn, you know. It's
Yeah.
like in my eyes, cause like I grew up in the West, so like I have a different mentality than them,
Yeah.
and I like I can see like both sides, and I'll just like kind of meet them in the middle and see like what they can work on
Mhm.
and how they can improve themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just kind of like it's sad, honestly. Like it's been going on for like so many decades, and this is part of the reason why like they have like all these issues, and like every time you turn on the news, you see like, oh, a car blew up, bum bum bum, and then like the supermarket got blown,
Mhm.
stuff like that. You know, it's just horrific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Leads to just disaster, left and right.
exactly.
So at what age did you leave Afghanistan?
Good question.
Yeah.
So right when I was born, we actually like literally weeks after we left
Wow.
because it just got that bad, and we went to Pakistan.
Mhm.
We stayed in a city called Islamabad, and we were there for about a year and a half, 2 years. And what had happened was, at the moment, there was a bunch of malaria spreading, and my uncle, he currently lives in Switzerland, so that's my mom's brother.
Mm-hmm.
She called and said, "Hey, I want you to," or he called and said, "I want you to pack up all your bags, get your family, and take them somewhere else, because it's just not safe. Like, it's not worth it for you to catch anything. I don't want your kids to be in harm." So she took his advice and um, went. We packed our bags and went to Iran. And man, Iran was just, yeah, it was just pretty horrible, man. I mean,
Really?
like, Pakistan was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Pakistan is basically like a shithole, bro. It's just like poverty,
Yeah.
and it's, imagine poverty plus 100 degrees every day. It's
like
like
broke as shit and in the middle of a desert.
exactly. Like, you don't, like, it's the last place.
Fuck.
Like, think of like Arizona,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like shit, you know?
Damn.
Yeah, that's just what it is. Like,
Plus being endangered.
and yeah, like unknown diseases that could spread. Yeah.
That's crazy. So, like, what kind of diseases were you guys?
Well, like, at the time, like, malaria was one of them, and there possibly could be more.
really?
Yeah. So like, it's just diseases that like people that like get sick and they don't have the right resources to go to like a doctor, like we do. They can't just go to like a hospital, and I'm sure they have hospitals there, but back then it was just like, it was less and less. You know, it was like minimized.
Yeah. Well,
So.
especially in like conflict zones,
Yeah.
it's real hard, I think, to get medicines and other types of protections and safety to, I guess, civilians and just regular people.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think a lot of it goes to the front lines or other places where it's needed, maybe the governments.
Yeah.
But that's
Pretty
nuts,
much.
man.
Yeah, man.
What made Iran get on?
Um,
So
Yeah. So it's like a neighboring
difficult.
country.
Yeah.
So we figured that, you know, the best place would be Iran, because we can't go back home, obviously,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just because of how bad and worse the conditions are getting.
Yeah.
So we went to Iran, and a city called Mashhad. It's like 3-4 hours away from the capital, Tehran.
Mm-hmm.
And over there, like, it's relatively good. Like, the people are kind of nice, and it's a lot better than Afghanistan for sure. It's like a more improved society
Mm-hmm.
and more modern for sure. And the only difference is they don't really like people outside of their country to come in there and live there, if that makes any sense. So it's like we're considered immigrants,
Yeah.
and for the longest time, they were just not giving us any kind of jobs. So we had no source of income. So like, my mom, basically, she had to sell all her jewelry. Like, we're talking gold, like really expensive gold, and probably like over 100K. And um, that's just like jewelry passed down from family generations, and she's had them, and she had to sell all that for like food and water, the basic necessities, and trying to find a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, like, we used the bulk of that to get by, and finally, getting the gas bubbles, finally getting putting our foot down and saying, you know what, this is not it for us. Let's just go ahead and head somewhere else. You know, I mean, traveling has always been our thing. Like, we just been like war refugees, just bouncing from like one country to the next. So we decided to go to Russia. So more specifically, at the time, back then it's called the Soviet Union. So it's like you have one giant uh, what's the best word to describe this? It's like a bunch of countries like just molded into one,
Mm-hmm.
and we were uh, in, I believe we stayed in Uzbekistan. Yeah, so we were there for probably the longest we've ever been in the other countries comparison. So 4.5, 5 years, I'd say.
5 years. That's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, and over there, like the majority of people, they're just European Russians. So it's mostly people speaking Russian and Uzbeki. That's a language known, and there's people in Afghanistan that speak it. Uzbekistan, those people speak Uzbeki. So it's a good percentage, half and half. So that's why I actually went to school for a bit and picked up on my Russian.
Nice.
Mhm.
So you're still pretty fluent with Russian,
No, I
or
wish, man. My older siblings, they're
Yeah.
fluent currently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually have a sister that's working for the government.
No kidding.
She's an interpreter, an interpreter.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So she actually speaks Russian, Farsi, Pashto, English, so 4 languages.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, because like for the interpreter jobs, you
Yeah.
have to give a test, like a written and oral test, and you have to be fluent in Pashto, Farsi, and English. So all 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So she excelled with 4.
Yeah, I mean, she just happens to know Russian just
Yeah.
because we picked it up from there, so she
Yeah.
got lucky with that. And she had like some Russian friends to like practice it with here and there,
Yeah.
so that's why she was able to maintain and keep it going.
Well, dude, that's the trick. I mean, if you're working with a different language, you
Mhm.
have to continue to use it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you forget. You
Yeah,
lose the pronunciations,
Like
the everything.
yeah, like for me, like when I first came here, bro,
Uh-huh.
I had like zero English, like nothing. Like I had to learn everything from scratch, my ABCs
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So, and I didn't have anyone to like speak Russian with. Like I didn't know anyone that spoke Russian.
Mm-hmm.
No Russian friends, none of that. So, eventually, it's like with languages,
Yeah.
the less you use it,
Mm-hmm.
the more likely it tends to get faded away.
Yeah.
Like for me, for Spanish, like I took Spanish all 4 years in high school, and 3 years in college. I mean, my Spanish is still like when I speak it with like Latinos and Latinas,
Yeah.
they still say like, "Hey, your accent is on point. Like you have no accent, none of that, and
Yeah.
like your pronunciation is like ideal."
Yeah.
But like, I feel like a lot of my vocabulary and a lot of my, I guess, knowledge on the language has disappeared, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't use it. I just don't. Like,
Mhm.
I have no need for it. Like, I just took it because it was fun
Yeah.
and it was like something new, and
Yeah.
and it was a requirement. So I'm like, why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And now I'm just like, eh. I mean, I could still like get my way around if I ever go to like South America or something. Be like,
Yeah.
hey, can I get that burrito?
You find the bathroom, you know.
Yeah, el baño.
¿Dónde está el baño? Por
Yeah.
favor. You know,
Yeah, man.
that's cool. I mean, I'm Japanese and Mexican, Spanish, and Irish and different things. So, I learn how to speak and write different characters, and also Spanish. I learned that as a kid.
Nice, man.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, I mean, I could barely speak English. You know what I mean?
Nah,
Because
dude.
that's all I use.
That's how I feel
You know?
sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like a work in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't want to get sidetracked. So back to the
Yeah,
main
yeah.
main story.
Russia.
Russia, yeah, man. So it was just so bad, dude. Like we're talking, like I'm not even over exaggerating, by
No.
the way. I'm just like spitting the facts. Like it was at absolute worst. Like we were probably at the very bottom at that time. Like we had nothing. Like we were like rock bottom, like poverty. Like we're talking extreme poverty. There were days when we didn't have food for like 3-4 days, bro.
In Uzbekistan.
Yeah, it was that bad. Like my mom would have to portion out the food.
Mhm.
So, like loaves of bread, she would like literally get a knife, cut it into like several portions, and then everyone would have like a certain piece to eat, so that no one stays like starving.
Yeah.
And
Just to maintain.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
actually, I actually had one of my older sisters, Ria. She would go on top of the fridge and like at night just like fucking trying to steal shit, like be like, "Fuck this, Mo! I need my fucking extra calories," you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mom would have to get creative. She'd have to like find ways to like hide it or put it in some spot where she couldn't reach it, you know. So yeah, man, and it was just bad, man. Like we had to sell like do shitty ass jobs. Like I remember my sister had to like sell clothes at one point. My older brother, he would like have to go and uh, sell like he would work in a shop as a kid, bro. Like as a kid, your job shouldn't be labor. It should be go on the playground, go on the swings, you know.
Yeah.
Go play ball, go play catch. Like this is just ridiculous, man. Like
It's those 10-year-old fingers that can get into the tiny
dude,
places,
yeah,
you know?
that's
That's
how
crazy.
Yeah, that's how he was able to like. I mean, he's a hard worker, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but still, man, that's just sheesh, crazy shit.
Definitely. Okay, so I was just thinking about it. Going back to you said that you were portioning out your meals and doing things like that
Yeah.
to get your nutrition. What's maybe one thing that you just will refuse to eat again because it just takes you back to a bad place?
Good question. I would probably say like old bologna.
Old bologna
Sandwiches, just nasty.
Yeah.
Like fuck, man. It's just it's like jail. What's worse than jail food?
Yeah.
Like, it's just bad. Like some like it's just inhumane food. Like you shouldn't even eat. You know?
I mean, even fresh bologna is.
Yeah, bro. It's like oof. Like the smell of
Yeah.
it is just like it's just like all right, just fucking take it down.
I know.
Just to get by.
I know. I mean, what's funny, I think it was just an American thing, you know,
Yeah.
for a long time, because my grandfather,
Yeah.
he used to make me bologna sandwiches as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, I won't touch it now.
Sheesh.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But he used
It
to
just brings you bad vibes.
Yeah, just like
Dude, I know.
yeah, sometimes he used to cook it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he used to just get it nice and raw and cold. It's on
Right.
2 loaves of bread and maybe some mayonnaise or something like that. I was like, oh man.
You're like trying to hide the flavor. You're like, fuck that. And you
Yeah.
just sauce it up.
Yeah, dude. It was interesting.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, for the majority of the time, we were there for like 4 or 5 years. And my mom actually, another interesting fact, my mom actually would walk because we had no vehicles at the moment. So, she would walk, I don't know, like 4 or 5 kilometers at 3 in the morning to get to the UN headquarters. So she did that for like a good 6 to 8 weeks, probably 5 nights out of the week.
Really?
Yeah, because she was really pushing it, man, trying to get like our papers set in so we can like really have a chance for like pretty much a more ideal life, you know.
You're trying to get the citizenship.
Yeah, we were basically like we were trying to we were applying for war refugees.
Yeah.
And trying to get to like a developed country, like anywhere. We didn't have a choice to say where we could go.
Yeah.
But basically, just the idea of it brought a lot of motivation for my mom. So that's why she just pushed it. She like worked so hard to make sure that it happened, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Eventually, it did happen.
Sorry. Hey. Down. You know better. No. Sorry.
No, it's good, man. At least this one doesn't pee in her bed.
No, she's really smart. You know, you just gotta tell her what to do, and she's
like before I came
she
here.
knows.
The little bastard peed on my bed again.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, I take this one on walks in our neighborhood on a
okay.
leash and stuff, and
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do.
yeah, I could tell her to sit, and she'll sit, and you know,
Can
it's.
I buy this?
I'll sell you my training methods. But sorry, so to go back to that, So at the moment, you were just kind of sitting in limbo as a refugee.
Yeah, bro.
Without.
Um, basically that's what it was, and
Yeah.
we actually had. I can't open this. Trying to.
It's a weird opener.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Yeah, I got you. I got
Stand
you.
up and do this.
Oh yeah, sometimes you need a better angle.
There we go.
Ka-ching.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Actually, you know what? Can you pass me one of those? I think I'm gonna crack one.
Yeah, bro.
Open myself and join you.
Yeah, bro.
With that. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me do the honors for you.
I appreciate it.
Cheers, broski.
Cheers, cheers.
Nothing better than a nice cold beer.
Heck yeah.
Alright, so where was I? Talking about the headquarters. Yeah, man, so she tried to... Eventually we got accepted to come to California.
Really?
Which was really sweet, bro. It was probably like... We got super lucky. It's kind of like the golden opportunity, like the golden ticket.
Yeah.
To come here, man. It was a really, really wonderful moment in our lives, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And so we first came out here. We moved to we lived in Lemon Grove, the city down in San Diego, kind of by San Diego State, so further south.
Yeah. At what age were you?
Oh yeah. So I came here at the age of 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when I enrolled in San Miguel Elementary School.
Nice.
Yeah, 2nd grade. And like I said earlier, I didn't know any English, so I had to learn everything from scratch. Like by the time
Dude, elementary school students are the worst.
Yeah, so like trying to fit in and everything.
Oh man.
Like making friends, I was basically like an outsider. Like first of all, it's already hard when there's like that language barrier.
Yeah.
And you don't speak the language of the people, like the country that you live in.
Yeah.
And on top of that, trying to be social and like make friends is just an even like difficult task. Dude.
Yeah.
So that like at that moment, like I didn't really have any friends because like no one knew what I was saying and I didn't know what they were saying, and we just had that barrier. And eventually, like I learned it pretty quick though, bro. I did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I picked up my ABCs within a week, and then from there I started like reading books within the month.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like on it, bro. Cause I was like, I either get on the program or I'm just gonna sink down and fall over.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you had motivation to just
bro. Cause like
start running.
Cause for me it's like basically like I have to work extra harder. That's my motto in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because first off, I'm first generation.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like my parents don't even have an education, bro. Like my mom just got to middle school, and my dad, I don't even think he finished elementary, or he probably did, but he never made it to middle school. That's just how the education system is out there. Because they were born in the 50s, so they don't really push like, oh, go to school, finish, get your degree, you know? They don't do that. They just kind of like, okay, go ahead and do your thing, live life.
Yeah.
Get fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? Stupid shit.
Well, previous generations, the emphasis wasn't on education.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, as a worldwide thing, you know, it wasn't highly pushed.
Yeah. Even till this day, it's like the education system is still fucked.
Yeah. A lot better than it was, for sure.
For sure. But it, I feel bad for the females, man. Cause of it, it's just so bad, bro. Like, they have nothing.
Yeah.
Like the guys. Yeah, it's a shitty place, but at least you have some freedom. Like the females can't do anything, bro. They can't go outside.
Is that their chaperone?
You can't date. You can't see anyone. No sex until marriage. No drugs. None of that. It's like, man, sheesh. Like,
yeah.
It's just like the fucking most depressing lifestyle you could think of.
I know. it gets pretty interesting. I mean, like I know different regions have different regulations and different beliefs and things, but I
Right.
mean it's crazy to think that Dubai just got a movie theater.
Really?
Yeah, they just got a movie theater,
Huh.
and there's also still like just the other day there was a woman who burned herself.
What?
Yeah, poured gasoline,
Oh
some
man.
type of accelerant on her body, killed herself because they wouldn't let her go and watch soccer by herself. She wanted to just go in, buy a ticket, sit down at the stadium, and watch
Wow.
her team. And she did it in protest. And I mean, good on her. Crazy methods to go to the extreme, but I
Yeah.
mean, that that just shows you the level of oppression
Right.
that she would go to such extreme measures to get the message out there.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
just.
insane.
Oh man, I'm so thankful and glad to be here. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think about this every single day, man. It's just like I always imagine how my life would be if
Mm.
I was out there right now. I would probably, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably have a wife already. I'd probably have 3 kids by now. Probably working 4 jobs, trying to feed everyone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that would be my life. Just working, coming home, eat, sleep, then do the same shit, repeat.
Yeah. Would you have different professions, or would it be like just four different of the same jobs?
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I,
What would be your trade? If you
I don't
could.
really want to think about that because I'm here now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you had to pick a trade, what would you be?
I'd probably be like an electrician.
Electrician?
Yeah, over there, because my uncle, or my brother-in-law, he has
Yeah.
a really like big company out there,
Okay.
and he like sells like light bulbs. He installs them. He has like all these like electrical devices,
Nice.
and I probably like he probably show me the ropes, and he makes a good money, man. Like
Yeah.
over there, he lives like a king.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has like a fat mansion house, and he's doing well for himself.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So that's probably what I would do, because,
Yeah.
like, bro, if I'm going to live in a shitty place, I'm definitely not going to work a shitty job and have shitty income, you know?
Yeah. That'll
That's
just
like,
snowball.
that's
You know.
like fucking, here's the surface level, that's like plummeting down -0. And I'm not about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, here's that. There's dirt. Here's like bullshit.
Yeah.
Whale shit. And then there's that.
and then there's like that fucking question mark there. You're like, there's this level that like fucking God didn't even like place it. He's like, nah, this is like the fucked up zone. This shouldn't even exist. That's why they don't even create it.
Oh man, nothing lives down there.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Going back to this main story.
Yeah, you came here.
Yeah. So I
Um,
came here.
California?
I lived in Lemon Grove for 2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, like I don't really like talking about religion, but I feel like I should talk about it just because it was part of my life.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
feel free. Whatever you want to do.
So like I grew up in like Muslim religion,
Mm-hmm.
so Islam. So you had to like pray,
Mm-hmm.
3 times, 5 times a day. So it was in the morning, afternoon, evening, then nighttime,
Mhm.
and I just didn't like. I didn't really like it, bro. To be honest with you, because it was just forced upon me, you know.
Mhm.
It's like one of those things like your parents are like, you have to do this,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't want to. I'm just like, shit. I think it got to like my teen years that I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. Like right now, like currently, I'm agnostic, bro. Like I just don't have a set religion.
Mhm.
Like I believe there's a God.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, I believe there's a God. I don't think it's a certain type of like God. Like I don't think God is Jesus or God is Allah. But I know that there's a God out there, and He's our creator. That's the reason why we're here. But I just, yeah, man, I'm just living life and just doing my own thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to be pressured or forced into, like, something that I don't feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to be in that position.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that that's good on you to definitely take it in as a whole and just kind of assess and make your own decision, especially as a teen where you're
Yeah.
kind of figuring things out for yourself.
Yeah.
Is there any like message from the Quran that like still
Like,
sticks with you, or
I mean,
is it influencing you at
yeah.
all still?
Like, it's so bad, bro. Like, it just, like, this religion is, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to bash on it, but,
Yeah.
like, it just, like, you can't have a girlfriend. You can't have sex until marriage. You can't do all this BS. I didn't have my first girlfriend until college, bro.
Yeah.
Like, how shitty is that? Like,
I mean,
there's Americans out there that have girlfriends in elementary school, bro.
yeah. I mean,
And I'm like
it just
fucking college. That's my first girlfriend. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
what is life?
Yeah, I mean, one of my best friends in high school didn't have his first serious girlfriend until he was a senior in high school,
Yeah.
heading into college.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it just to depends on everyone's situations and how they feel, I guess,
Yeah. It's pretty shitty, man. It kind of reduces like your level of happiness, and it kind of like withdraws you from like being out there, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like you missed out because of religion?
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck, I missed a shit
Yeah.
ton. Yeah, I could have done a lot more. I could have had more fun, but because of this, like, they just like reduced it so much that like I missed out on a lot of all those chances. I mean, I can't complain too much because there's other people that have like a worse condition than me, but still, like, it's because see, I think it's because I always compare myself to like the average American that has like those good necessities, and that's why like when I moved to Carlsbad in 2005, like I went to Aviera Elementary and Middle School, and these were like the rich students.
Yeah. So you went from extreme to extreme.
Yeah, so like even like San Miguel, bro, it was ghetto. Like there's like a middle school or a high school,
Yeah.
Helix High. They had like stab fights and all that stuff.
Oh dang.
Yeah, it was pretty ghetto, man. And like,
Mhm.
so I came from like the ghetto school, and I bumped up into like, my parents put me into like Aviera, like, which was like a rich preppy white school.
Mhm.
And that was even shitty, cause like, basically like here I am, a poor little kid.
You're ready to knife fight some people.
Going fucking ninja on them.
And then like, I'll meet you on the tennis court, hey?
Yeah, bro. So it's just I was always comparing myself to these Aviera kids,
Yeah.
like, oh, he has an iPhone or he has this. Why don't I have that?
Yeah.
Like, silly shit like that.
Yeah.
But now that I'm like more mature and like I've like developed more,
Yeah.
I realize that like, hey man, it's not too bad,
Yeah.
Like it could have been a lot worse for you. Like you're here now,
Mhm.
just be humble.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't really have a cell phone until I was in high school when I had a job.
Yeah.
And I could pay for it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I was never given one.
Yeah.
And it was a real shitty flip phone with like, it was like one of the first generations that had a camera on it. It was amazing. But I paid for that myself, I was paying for the minutes and the
Really?
text. Yeah, it was before unlimited anything. So I had to buy like the cards to like upload the minutes or whatever on. Oh, it was crazy. But
Yeah, I did. Like for me, I didn't
But it was
have.
good. It was
I
a
didn't
lot of
have
fun.
my first phone until junior year of high school.
yeah, that was about me. That was about me. Yeah.
Yeah, and like let me tell you, man, it sucked because like my friends, they'd be like, "All right, you want to hang out?" And I'll be like, "All right, how the fuck do I contact you?" Like, we go to the fucking local payphone. Hey, no, man, it's just like, do you have a phone? Like every year they ask me, like freshman year, do you have a phone? Nope. Sophomore year, do you have a phone? Nope. Till I got one my junior year, and by the time I got my like phone junior year, it's just like those friends are just kind of like lost interest. They're like, oh, he doesn't really want to hang out. It's like, dude, it's not that I don't want to hang out. I just don't have like a means of like getting in touch with you,
Yeah. Let's see. I graduated in 2009
Yeah.
from high school. And so that was like right around when the iPhone had just come out.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the people that had like the highest tech phones, it was like the Sidekick, the one that kind of like flips open
Oh,
and you
yeah,
have the
yeah.
keyboard, the QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah.
and I mean, I always had like junky like flip phones. One that were like pieces of crap. I think I stole one.
Really?
Yeah, some kid left it on the floor or something like that. I picked it up. I was like, hell yeah, score! I took out his SIM card and put mine in, and it worked. And I was like, fuck yeah.
I think I had a
Yeah.
similar experience. I don't know if I would consider it stealing, but I just found it on a table and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. I had a shitty black flip phone, or it was the one that like flipped up like this. I was like, my texts were like fucking took like 5 minutes, bro. It was like I was texting from the tombstone, from the medieval times.
It's when we have to click like when you say hey or hi, it's like
the little it's like playing the little Nintendo Switch game Mario. You're just like waiting for the letters to like fucking load. You're like KKKLLBM.
Yeah. Dude, but that was the only one you could text and not look at the screen. You know?
until I got that red one where like the flip was like this, and I was like, fuck yeah, I felt like a boss. I was just like texting super fast.
Oh, the slide?
Yeah.
Or the side swipe one?
Yeah, side swipe one.
Yeah.
It was like a little like mini
little keyboard. Oh, dude, yeah. The QWERTY, I think it's like a BlackBerry, right?
Exactly.
Dude, that
I think
was
that's
legit.
The one I found too.
The BlackBerry?
Yeah, I was just like.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
I felt like fucking the Flash. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. This is why I came to America.
But,
oh, dude, that's good.
Yeah, so I don't know what else you want to talk about.
Dude, I mean, the floor is open. You know, if you're done talking, we can end it here. If you want to continue, feel free to talk more.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think what else I missed. I mean, till this day, bro. Like, we. I don't know. Like, I mean, we're doing a lot better. You know, it's just like crazy. Like, I've actually like so 2013.
Yeah.
I actually went back home and took a trip there for 5 weeks.
Which home?
I went to Kabul, Afghanistan, the capital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we actually have a house there, so...
Still?
Yeah, so my older sister, she lives there. And that's my brother-in-law, the guy who's married to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They have a really nice house out there, and I went there and stayed with them. They showed me around, but bro, it was like, fuck, man. Cause like that was the first time I went there.
Since the conflict?
Yeah, like since like, cause like when I was born, we left, so I don't have any like recollection.
Any pictures or anything?
I mean, there's pictures, but like in my memory, I had nothing.
Well, you were so young at the time.
Yeah. So basically, like, we get to the airport, and the airport is just like something you see in an action movie. It's just like fucking sand everywhere. You fucking land the little thing, like you fucking walk down it, and it's just like little desert. You're like, what the fuck is this? And then you go into like they don't even have terminals there, I don't think. It's just you go through the scanner and you go get your bag, and that's it.
It's just a building.
Yeah, and then like my brother-in-law, he picked us up in his car, and we had what was it? The driving there. Oh man, like it's just fucking something else.
Yeah, there's no rules like there are in a lot of Western.
Right, like you know
countries.
how, man. I don't even
It's like India on steroids.
Yeah.
Plus, did you encounter any like what do they call them, like Arab drifters or
like sand fucking cruisers?
Yeah, is that what they're called? I don't remember what they're called, but those guys that are like flying through traffic. Have you seen those?
Dude, sheesh.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy had one of his friends, and he visited a couple different countries out there after going to Iran. Mm-hmm. Same thing. He saw some guys doing that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Dude, it was just like...
Yeah.
I was just culture shocked, honestly. Like, I had no idea what was going on. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's no rules here. Like, you could do anything you want.
Yeah.
You don't have, like, a person, like, telling you to, like... Basically, like, it's so corrupt that you can pay the cops to get out of trouble.
Interesting.
and the cops don't really like enforce the law too much.
Mm.
It's just they're just there to like have a job. I know it's like fucking dumb.
Like for the government to show face.
Yeah, like and to like have like income for their families and stuff. Like it's just like you can pay someone to not have like legal trouble.
Like
If you committed a serious crime, if you have a lot of dough,
yeah,
you can get away with it.
like a mob boss.
Yeah.
Just start paying people off.
Yeah.
Silencing the witnesses.
Mhm.
And the government looks the other way.
I mean, yeah, like it's kind of like if you do something and you have a lot of money on you,
Yeah.
just like, hey man, here's this, take that, and let's call it a day.
Yeah.
He'll look at you and be like, I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Interesting. Even if you killed somebody, you run the person over.
I'm sure if you have like that type of money, man, if you're
Yeah.
like a millionaire, like
Yeah.
we're talking U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably get away with something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
I mean, I think there's a lot of countries out there that
Yeah, I know India does it. There's like
corrupt.
I grew up watching Indian movies. There's this Indian star. He's like Justin Bieber status.
From Bollywood.
Yeah. He has like all this. He killed 12 people. I swear to God, you can even look it up.
Hmm.
He
Like with his bare hands, guns.
drunk driving.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. He
Just
killed-
over the years, or with a tour bus, or
I
what?
think he like ran over a bunch of people.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know it sounds brutal. But
Well, I mean, I've seen the streets in India, bro. I mean, dude, you're driving, and all of a sudden there's a cow in the middle of the road, and you turn left, there's a giant hole, and you turn right, and then there's a guy repairing his tire in the middle, and he's like throwing his like nuts and bolts. And
no, but I think
it's
he,
like whoa.
Yeah, he gave the judge, what was it, $600,000 US or $1 million?
Yeah.
Like we're talking US dollars. In India, that's like a shit ton of money. You could fucking retire for life.
Yeah.
That's what he gave him, and he just took it, and he's like, all right, man, you're good. Just don't do that shit again.
Yeah. What's the currency conversion from U.S. to what is it, rupees or rubles?
Rupees,
or?
yeah, it's Indian rupees.
Rupees. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the conversion? It's like thousands of rupees per.
I could look it up for you. I just.
No worries. But yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, man, glad to be here now. I mean, I still have a lot to go, honestly. Like, I still feel like I could do so much more. I just have to work harder, Like, I have to grind and just push myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I can't be lazy, bro. Because, like, my dad, bro,
Mm-hmm.
like, this is getting a little personal now.
Yeah, by all means.
My dad, he was basically like an asshole, bro. Like, he fucking did not give two shits about any of us. Like, that's why, like, I was telling you earlier how my mom had to, like, spend all her, like, life savings, all her jewelry, all that. She probably spent, like, fuck, man, half $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more. On, like, throughout the journeys and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot coming from, like, an Afghan lady who came from, like, a developed country. Yeah, like...
You were saying generations of inheritance.
Yeah.
Jewelry and things.
Yeah, sad.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like, he didn't work his entire life. Like, he pretty much leached off of us.
Mm.
Like, he was just a massive barrier that, like, slowed us down. Even, like, when we came here, like, he didn't even work. He didn't want to work. He was just a lazy prick.
Hmm.
Just sitting at home, fucking watching TV all day. Just not doing shit. And then we'd all be like, why don't you get a job? He'd be like, why don't you get a job? Being fucking immature, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that he was dealing with some type of mental...
Like depression or something?
Yeah, or maybe some type of PTSD from the situation, maybe something before you were born, or... Something else? Because I feel like sometimes, the situations or sometimes people live through things that could alter their
Yeah.
drives,
No, I think.
Or was that just his personality?
I think it's just yeah. It was like a lot of it was his personality.
Gotcha.
He just never really didn't have that work ethic.
Mm.
Never really cared for his family, and he just wanted to do his own thing. And fuck, man, that just sucks.
Yeah.
Cause we could have we could have already bought a house already. He basically slowed us down so much. We had to spend so much money on him.
Mm-hmm.
If he had helped us, bro, our life would have been from here would have been there right now. But cause if he had motivation and determination,
Mm-hmm.
he could have got one of those jobs I was telling you about. There's government jobs. So back then, when the President Bush, he declared war on Afghanistan, he sent troops there and everything. That's when a lot of these Middle Eastern jobs opened up. We're talking 6-figure salaries. You can make starting level 120K, and you didn't even need a college degree. You just needed to speak Pashto, Farsi, and English.
Mm-hmm.
Be fluent in all those three, or at least very good at them, and you're good. You pass those tests, and they'll take you in.
As an interpreter, or
Yeah.
as a...
Yeah, interpreter. And there's different types of jobs. You could be a field interpreter that takes you to the actual war zone, and you'd be next to the Marines or the soldiers, whatever, and you help them out. They'll be saying something in Pashto,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll tell them in English, what's up,
I gotcha.
Yeah, but he could have done one of those jobs, and not even that. He could have had an office job. They have um, for older people,
Mm-hmm.
they have office jobs where you can just have those little headsets,
Mm-hmm.
and just talk to the soldiers from while they're out on their field, and you just inside the base, telling them the codes and uh, translating all the information.
Yeah.
But fuck, he didn't want to do it.
I mean, it sounds like it wouldn't be too hard of a gig if you already knew the languages and...
Dude, there's
and
yeah, there's so many other Afghan families that we know down in San Diego area. They have made a shit ton of money, bro. We know several families that have 3 houses now.
Wow.
I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did well for themselves.
Fuck, they milked this system, bro.
Yeah.
It was a monopoly, cause not a lot of people had that kind of cause you oh, I forgot to tell you, you need there's requirements. Not everyone, no Joe Schmo can just go in there.
Oh.
You have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to have a passport. You have to what else is there? I think those were the key ones. There might be some more minor ones,
Mm-hmm.
but even then, all these people that come here fresh, they don't have those, bro.
Oh.
So it's really limited. That's why it's a monopoly. Very few people, and they just want people to come in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, especially in a time of again conflict, I guess, but for us,
Yeah.
people get a little nervous,
Mm-hmm.
About that.
Yeah.
I mean, my also getting personal again for me though. My grandfather was a part of the 442nd Infantry, Japanese Army.
Really.
Yeah. Fighting for the U.S. Against Japan and the Nazis. Yeah, he was in an internment camp.
Shit.
In the United States. And that's where he met my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
He was a strawberry farmer, and she was just working at a marketplace in, actually right around Saratoga, up in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both moved out to an internment camp where they met, and they actually went back to where they're from, Saratoga area, to then start a family. But yeah, dude, crazy how wartime can really change things. But a lot of people didn't want to fight for the United States when they were put in the camps.
Exactly.
When you're put into weird situations and you have to do things you may not agree with.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, it could be completely wrong, but there was a lot of things that the translators and interpreters didn't agree with. that the army was doing, or that
Mm.
certain things were going a direction. And so it was hard for them to kind of like stomach a lot of the conflict
Yeah.
between some of the people that they would associate themselves with, given other circumstances.
Absolutely, man.
But would you ever do something like that if you were in the right situation to do so?
Like one of those jobs that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm. Being an
Uh,
interpreter, going out to the front lines, being here with a headset.
Probably not, cause I don't
No.
speak Pashto,
Yeah.
and I don't think I want to learn it. It'll take forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, actually.
Yeah.
It's a completely different than Farsi.
Yeah.
So
So, like, no.
probably not. Yeah, I'll probably like have to find my own way to make money here, bro.
Yeah. So then, okay, you said you had aspirations, you had dreams.
Yeah.
You want to do different things and you want to make the most out of it.
Yeah. Like
Where
basically.
where do
like,
you want to go?
Like travel wise, or just like in
Career
general?
wise, I mean, like financial.
Like my goals are just to like I want to like be able to be like financially stable enough to like where I can buy my mom a car.
Yeah.
And like eventually like help out with like buying a new house and like doing shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I and like having enough for myself where I can just like I don't have to work like a 9 to 5 job or having like I don't know, living a good life, man. Just not worrying about bills. Basically, that's like the main part of it.
The American dream is to be debt free.
Yeah, like I mean, there's always gonna be bills, but like if you don't have to like scramble to like go and get it,
Yeah.
then you know you're doing well.
Seriously. So like, do you imagine yourself staying in California then, or do you want to move out and buy a piece of property, have like a ranch or something like that?
Yeah,
Or
no, I'd probably stay here, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've been living here for like 18, 19 years now.
Yeah.
And this is probably like the only state I've stayed at.
Uh-huh.
I've been to other states, but I couldn't really picture myself going somewhere else.
Yeah, dude, you gotta love California, man.
Yeah.
It's a special place.
It is, and it's funny because like other people that come here from other states, they're like, "Oh, we hate it. There's fucking so much traffic, blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Sheesh,
I know.
I want to see how the way you guys are living, you know."
I mean,
Fucking cornfield.
Yeah.
They're gonna warmer out today.
yeah, right.
Warmer yesterday.
Well, I tell you what.
That's why they probably miss when they come here. They're like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a price you pay. You pay a lot for the land you live on, and
Yeah.
you gotta sit in traffic a little bit. But I mean,
Exactly.
we're sitting on the coast here with bikini
ocean
babes
breeze,
and
I mean, that's the price you pay, like you said, you know. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
All this.
And I mean the diversity of the food, the
Right.
people, the cultures, and different things. It's hard to beat. You, like you're saying, you go to certain states or certain other areas, and you'll find like a singularity, right?
Exactly.
A certain type of person or lifestyle. But
Absolutely, man. It's just, I feel like they're just not used to it because they grew up in the Midwest or like some shitty ass state.
a flyover state.
Yeah. Or like Illinois or Iowa or something
Yeah.
like that didn't have like a lot of the good shit that we have out here. That's why they come out here. They're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I forget, and I definitely take it for granted. But we definitely get spoiled out here. The weather. I mean, we hardly get snow to begin with, so we don't get real winters.
Yeah.
We don't get real hot summers.
Exactly.
Just overall, it's it's just a mild climate. And I mean, I did a project on the climate in college actually, of the maritime chaparral
Yeah.
climate that we typically have in this area. Well, I mean, we're borderline desert here in San Diego for certain areas, but for up in the Bay Area from where I'm from, I did a project on just the mild climate and how
So real
it
quick,
influences.
sorry to cut you off. but
Yeah,
did you-
no,
did
sorry,
you,
I guess go on tangents.
No. Did you like live in San Jose your whole life? Were you
Yeah.
born there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I actually I was born in Los Gatos, which is just one city over from San Jose.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure where my parents were at the time,
Yeah.
that hospital was the most convenient and whatnot. But they had me there, brought me to San Jose, and I lived there up until I graduated high school,
Yeah.
and then
Take this off.
yeah,
It's
no
getting
worries,
hot.
dude. It's warm. I like it warm in here. When it's too cold, it puts me to sleep. So then, yeah, then I moved to Monterey, lived in Monterey for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then moved back to the Bay, and then came down here.
Oh, nice, man. Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit.
But I love it down here, dude. I love it down
Yeah.
here.
When did you move down here? A year ago?
Probably December 2017, like that.
Okay, so a couple years.
Yeah, like 2 years, give or take.
Nice. What would you say is like the biggest difference in comparison to like North California? I mean, because they're both like, I've been in North California myself, but like you are actually like
I am
a
NorCal.
local.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
a local out there, you know?
Okay, so major difference,
Yeah.
right? That you'll see right away
Mm-hmm.
on the roads.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
People over here in Southern California for the most part. I mean, as soon as you get below LA,
Yeah.
you get what some people like to refer as like island drivers, or like people who are like kind of touristy, or so they're on the freeway or on just roads, but they're like completely oblivious and taking in the sights, you know. So they're just kind of cruising like 5 to 10 miles under the speed limit.
Okay.
And then you have people who are like straight out of LA, who are trying to get to their destination.
Yeah. They're just like
Blinker,
"Get out the
sometimes
fucking
blinker,
way."
no, yeah, honking at you, flipping you off, going different directions, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have, you know.
Bro, I hate that when
Yeah.
fucking people are on your ass. You're like, where the fuck do you want me to go? There's a car right in front of me. You know? Like, get off my fucking ass, man.
So those combinations add to a weird dynamic on the road for
Yeah.
me that I'm not used to.
So you're just
in
like
the-
the more mellow type. You're like, oh, okay.
So in the Bay Area for the most part, it's like LA now. So people, it's bumper to bumper traffic. People are driving like a-holes around each other, and yeah, it's it's an interesting change of pace because there's also a type of road justice.
Yeah.
So if someone's driving like a complete asshole, drivers will coordinate up there to then pin them into a weird situation where they can't be a dick anymore.
Right.
So they'll get them off so they're on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, you know what I do with those
Yeah.
type of people? I'm just like, I don't want to deal with the drama. So I just kind of like turn on my blinker, let them pass. Because they're just going to be like the a-holes that they are. And I don't want to like deal with it, you know?
Yeah. And then a lot more people up there, when they're driving speed limit or below,
Yeah.
they're always in the right lane.
Yeah.
Over here, I feel like
If you're on the far left lane, if you're not doing 80, get the fuck off the left lane.
yeah. I feel like that's loosely practiced over here.
Yeah.
It happens for the most part, but not as a standard.
Right.
You know. The people down here are generally nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people up in San Francisco area are pretty jet set, tunnel vision. They're doing their own thing.
I have noticed that actually when I went out there.
Yeah. So over here, like, if you know, people are still on their phones and just like anywhere else. But if you were to just like spark up a conversation, just talk. So if they're riding their bike, they'll stop and talk to you for a sec. Hey, like, I know, crazy weather, like, right? Tired of this winter stuff.
Yeah, they're just more like
Yeah.
open, you know.
Yeah, in San Francisco, they'll be on the bike like, huh? What? Oh, I don't know. And they'll take off. You know what I mean?
Or you get those ones that don't even, like, you smile and they'll be like, what the fuck is he smiling at me for?
Yeah. I like women. There's a disconnect, I think, up in the San Francisco area.
Okay.
But I think that's just because it's Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah.
Where we grew up with that technology, like that's like what we're surrounded by.
I feel you.
And so I think there's a different mindset around the tech and what we're trying to do up there. I think everyone has that. What is that tech saying? Break things and whatever, whatever it is.
Could I ask you
Yeah.
why you decided to move down here? Was it like for just you wanted to change, or did you just kind of have like you were like tired of living up north?
Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend and I, we were talking about, changing up scenery and doing some different things.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of both agreed on Southern California.
Okay.
And so we took a couple vacations down here. Went to Irvine, Santa Barbara, here down in San Diego, different things.
Mm-hmm.
And we liked Santa Barbara and San Diego, and she actually had a career opportunity down here. So
Nice.
we just said, "Fuck it, let's
It just
go."
worked out. And bro, out of all places, you moved to Carlsbad, which is probably like the nicest, one of the nicest cities in Southern California, my opinion.
Yeah, I love it. It reminds me a lot of kind of where I grew up, and just right by the coast.
Yeah.
Which is not where I grew up. So it's like got the best of both worlds. I wanted to be somewhere by the beach and somewhere I can raise a family eventually.
Yeah.
And I think either here, right around Carlsbad area, would where I would want to do so. I feel like you head into too far south, La Jolla area, everyone's kind of back to stuck up and weird again, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you go too far north and you get into like weird...
Party zone.
Yeah, like Oceanside or something like that, you know what I mean? You get to different areas. But yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Carlsbad is definitely more mellow, for sure.
Yeah.
It's more of I've lived here for like 15, 16 years now, bro. And I'll tell you, like, a lot has changed, though. I mean, I know you came here in 2017, but
yeah.
when I first came here, bro, this fucking city was small.
Really?
Like, there was only like 48,000, 50,000 people that lived here.
Oh, it's like doubled in size, huh?
Like probably tripled by now.
Triple now?
Yeah. It's like there were trees everywhere, bro. This place felt, I mean, it still does to a point, to a degree, but back then it was like absolute paradise. You had trees, like green luscious trees everywhere. And it felt like you were in the forest next to the beach. Like, how sick is that?
Yeah.
Now it's like they fucking like chopped down everything down. They fucking built a bunch of new houses. More people have moved in from out of state. It's become more popular. It's slowly transcending into a modern city, like like LA and whatnot.
So do you think that there's been a gentrification of the area? Has there been like a population that's been pushed out of Carlsbad at all?
Yeah, people that don't want to pay a shit ton of money to stay here. No, listen. Like, a lot of the people that moved out, the majority, in my opinion,
yeah,
it would be the people that want homes. Like, they don't want to fucking pay for rent, bro. Who the fuck wants to pay? When you pay for rent, bro, that's fucking burning money every month. Like,
I know.
You're just tossing it in the garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Because that's money you can't get back. But when you buy a house, that's a different fucking story. Like, you can fucking, that's your property. Like, no one can tell you shit. You don't have a landlord. You don't have people telling you what to do.
Yeah.
That's sick. Like, that's the level I want to get to. But, like, paying rent is just fucking stupid, bro. Like,
I know it's sad to just see it go. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you don't create equity. You don't create any, or you don't benefit yourself.
Nah, you don't.
In any way.
Because, like, let's say you buy a house, right?
Yeah.
You don't spend money on rent. Now you can spend that money that you would spend on rent to start a business.
Yeah. Create another form of income that's passive, and could let you. I mean, that's what I strongly believe. I mean, you need to let your creative juices flow.
Yeah. Make your money make money for you.
Yes.
That way you don't have to work twice as hard and fucking be like these people that have 2-3 jobs just to get by. Yeah. You gotta be smart, man. You gotta work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. A lot of people, I think, get focused on the idea of, okay, hours worked equals money, so I need to work more hours.
Yeah.
Not necessarily what's going to give me the most money per hour,
right?
And how can I utilize that to the point where I don't need to be there doing that every hour.
Right.
Right? So I mean, investing is key.
Yeah.
To
Yeah, you
help.
told me about that.
Yeah, to help benefit yourself. And I mean, I strongly believe in real estate, and I think that's the best way to go for people just in general. Because the most millionaires have been created, from like Roman times to now, have been through real estate, through
Yeah.
land, right? They stopped making land a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, buy it when it's cheap, buy it when you can afford it, and hold on to it and use it to benefit you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Um,
But it's sad because like a lot of people don't know that life hack. They don't know like how to get there, and they don't have someone to lead them to the right path.
yeah.
So that's why you have like all these successful like 1% people that probably they were either like born into it or they had
They had a
someone
mentor.
show them the ropes.
Yeah.
And basically they were able to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what leads into what you were telling me the other day, like what we were talking about, how knowledge is power, right? Yeah. Knowledge is the one thing that no one can strip from you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's
that's true, man. Like, don't like. I mean, I know you probably like feel bad about like spending all that money on school and shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, bro, that will benefit you tenfold. Like one day you'll have a kid, and let's say you didn't go to college and you don't know how to fucking write a thesis or like do a certain type of, I don't know, like something like college equity, You can be there for your kid, bro. I didn't have that. I'm first generation. I'm the first like person. Well, not the first person, but like I'm like one of the first people in my family to graduate college. So like I can pave the road for my kids, like if I ever have kids, if that makes sense to you. Like I don't have to like put them in that trouble.
Do you want kids?
Probably one day, yeah. I probably have to find the right person, bro.
Yeah.
Cause this is like a good topic to get into. Because back in Afghanistan they had arranged marriages.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's how my mom met my dad. Like
Mm-hmm.
my mom didn't even know my dad. Basically, like they just like, oh, here you go. You're gonna meet him on that day. You get married.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit, bro. Like I would not fucking do that.
You wouldn't want to continue the tradition and no.
No. Like, would you want to do that, bro? Like,
I mean, me no.
Meet a chick the very first time. Like, all right, we're gonna have a life together now.
Well, I mean, so in a weird way, so my girlfriend and I, we met when we were real young.
Yeah, but that's a different story, though.
Yeah. But I mean, my buddy, Arash. I mean, I hope I don't mind using his name, but like, anyway, he pretty much was in an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
His family knew. It was like a friend of the family, pretty much.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it didn't work out, but but I mean, he went through with it as just like a way to kind of like keep it going. That's how his mom and dad.
He probably did it out of pressure to like didn't want to disappoint his parents.
Yeah.
But me, bro, I'm like, fuck that, bro. I ain't fucking doing it. I don't give a fuck what people say.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna find a chick, I'm not gonna find some chick that I just barely met and marry and have kids with. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's just insane, bro. That's something you wouldn't even see in the fucking movies.
Well, I mean, that's like creating just for the sake of creating.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? There's already enough people in the freaking world, so I don't think it necessarily applies as much anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is, I think it's kind of falling out of style and falling in for certain, I guess, groups of people or whatever. Because I think...
Sorry,
no worries. I think that people are no longer feeling the need to, like, be forced to commit to things.
Yeah.
Because you have so many choices now.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
You can hop on Tinder, you can, eHarmony or whatever else is out there.
Bumble.
To meet people, to go on dates if you want to
Yeah.
or what's that one? events and adventures. You don't even have to like want to go on a date or mess around with people.
Yeah.
You can just like hit up this app or this website, and then they'll take you on a rafting trip with a bunch of other people who are also single.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like worry about like stepping on people's toes
like
and shit.
Paving the road to like find your one.
Yeah. It's like
it's like a little life cheat code, you know? You're like, fuck, I don't gotta fucking go on dates, spend like fucking $100 on dinner and shit. You're like, alright, look, let's go find that one girl, you know?
Yeah, you just go on a bunch of mini dates on a water rafting trip.
Yeah.
You know?
Good shit. You're getting that bundle deal.
Yeah.
Little Costco
we got
package.
The package, right? 16 females you can meet for the price of one dinner.
Everyone's like, fuck, I'm down.
Right? Hell yeah. Sign me up. Where's my wallet?
Where's my fucking card at?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's... Fuck, man.
I mean, what's kind of funny is that I really didn't want to think about kids or children or whatever. I mean, I kind of like lied and kind of BS to some girls who were who wanted that kind of thing, and I just kind of went along with it, whatever. But until you find the right one, dude, I mean, it's you don't want it. You don't need it.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because like a lot of people that I've met, they tell me like, I'm like, how do you know it's that one that you just want to marry?
Yeah.
You know, every response that I get, they're just like, you know. Like,
yeah.
You just know.
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
In the best sense of things, find the one thing that sabotaged your relationships in the past.
Yeah.
Right? For me, it was boredom. Right? I would get bored with the relationship.
Yeah, that's my problem, bro.
Right? I would just be like, well, this is stupid. We're just going to do the same thing over and over again. Like, I hate this. This is dumb. I'm out. Right? But with the current one that I'm with, I've never felt that way. When I get off work, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to go see that chick right now. You know, I go home, I'm super stoked. I'll sleep in bed with her. I'll wake up the next day, I'm like, hell yeah, you're right here, I'm right here. You want breakfast?
Dude,
you know, it just never ends.
I wish I had that in my life.
Yeah, it's weird. It's the strangest thing I've ever experienced.
It's funny because like you mentioned to me that like she was being like rude to you back then, and like now, funny how life works out. Honestly, bro. Like life's a fucking roller coaster, bro. It's a mystery.
I know. She was a bitch to me. Yeah.
You fucking she spiraled back, and then like she's like, all right,
I wrestled her down.
180 twist on you, and like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. So. You know, it's an interesting ride. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer to it. I mean, the thing is that you have this idea, and I mean, I think movies are great. Hollywood, Bollywood, any type of wood is great.
Yeah, any type of entertainment, bro.
Because it gives people this hope and this dream that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be swooned off my feet. I'm gonna get some flowers or whatever it may be. But that's not how it goes, man. Like some people bump heads in a club and like they're like, oh shit, sorry, can I buy you a drink? You know what I mean? That's how it starts. For other people it's a one night stand that turns into a 2-night stand that turns into 4, 5, 6. Fuck, we're dating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Yeah, so there's no rhyme or reason as long as you and the person click.
Yeah, I feel like you're absolutely right. Like I honestly think that like it doesn't matter how you find that person or how it portrays to you, but as long as you have that same flow and the vibes going in with your textures, I'm good, broski. Thank you though. Then you're good. You like you said, you wake up in the morning, you're like, man, that's a chick I want to see. You get off work, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm off work. I'm gonna go see that chick now.
Yeah.
Bro, if you have those vibes, then you know she's the one.
Yeah.
And that's it. And one day I hope to find that person.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's for every right hand there's a left hand.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think people get so consumed with trying to find the right person in your general vicinity.
Yeah.
That they don't think to venture out. Because, I mean, my right person, could have been in Australia. My brother's right person could have been, like, somewhere from Russia. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, man.
I mean, maybe your sweetheart is still living in Uzbekistan. You know what I mean?
Probably.
She's sitting at home watching like Uzbeki flicks. You know,
she's like fucking waiting for the Prince Charming.
Yeah, yeah,
some shit like that.
yeah. So who knows?
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, like right now, I'm not even thinking about marriage.
Yeah.
For me, it's just grind, bro.
Well,
just fucking make it.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you're a guy.
Yeah.
Right, so you don't have to worry about kids right away. B,
Yeah.
I think females find it more impressive if you kind of like have a kingdom to begin with, and you're like, this is my crib. She's like, damn. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like if you're still with your parents and you're trying to impress someone, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I know, bro. That's like the one like thing that I think is another reason why people these days are single for so long. Is that you still have people like into their 30s living at home, and I understand that because I didn't fully move out of my parents' house until I was 25, 26,
I mean, I'll be honest with you, bro. I still live at home, but I'm paying rent. I pay like $500-600 a month, and on top of that, I pay $300 for groceries. Yeah. So I'm paying about close to $1,000 for a month. It's not like I'm living for free. Yeah. But I'm still hopping around the house and doing my shit. But it's like you said, I don't picture myself at 30 living with my parents. Fuck that. Like at one point, I want to be like at my own apartment doing my own shit. I'm still young, but I gotta work up on it.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's the thing. Like, right now is the best time, I think, to figure it out. We have technology to make things easier, to make businesses cheaper, to do just about anything we want. Yeah. The norm is no longer a thing. Yeah. Right? People are doing weird stuff, and you're just like, okay, whatever. Like, there's a guy over there wearing a bra with a painted unibrow on, and you're just like, oh, for sure. You just gotta do your own thing, But like, 30 years ago, that guy would have been killed.
He's like, what the fuck is he up to? Who the fuck is you?
Yeah, the fuck is this?
Chop his head
off. Yeah. Light him on fire.
Off of the head, motherfucker.
Yeah, like crazy things. So, I mean,
Times have changed, bro. Times have changed.
Times have definitely changed.
Yeah.
Times definitely changed.
Maybe it's for the better, but like, fuck. Sometimes, like, when you see that one person that acts like a goofy, you just want to fucking pimp slap the shit out of him. Not wake him into some sense. You're like, you motherfucker, wake the fuck up.
Like a bitch slap.
Yeah, bro. Like, fucking, this is reality. This ain't some fantasy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, is the interview good? Is it done?
No, it's still going.
Oh, it's still going?
Yeah. You want to cut it here?
Yeah, you just want to cut it and just chill?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. I mean, anyway, thanks so much, Abdul. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me.
Interesting story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to hear people's backgrounds, but I think you have a particularly interesting background. You did tell me you're gonna try to write a book. With that one day?
Yeah, one day I'm gonna write a book about this in detail. Like, I mean, I didn't get into certain specific details, but in the book there'll be like actual specifics. Yeah. And one day I'm gonna write about that.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
About like my whole entire life.
Dude, take your time to do that. The detail is or the interesting parts. Yeah. I think are in the detail.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a fantastic book one day when you decide to.
Yeah, everyone that I meet that I tell the story to, they always tell me go for it.
Yeah. No, I'm one too, man. I was like hooked the entire story. Mm-hmm. You need to put that in writing. You need to make it a deal.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting too to get different perspectives from maybe your mom, siblings. Different angles would be.
That'd be very interesting to have.
Yeah. Sure. Especially through the younger years.
Yeah.
For yourself. But
absolutely.
Anyway, buddy.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Thanks again.
Hey, absolutely. Always having a good time.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in to the Double R Network. It's been fun, guys. Take care.
Peace.